Okay, so today is 8/26/2021. The current time is 11:39 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is Captain Smith, investigator. The room I have with me. Could you introduce yourself?
Captain Junior De La Cruz, LSPD.
Okay. All right. So, um, like I said, so as I was starting to tell you, this is information gathering only. None of the information that I'm gathering here today is going to be used in any kind of criminal proceeding. These are going to be questions on or about the event of 16 July 2021 that happened in regards to a Great Ocean Bank. Again, I will let you know you do have the right to have your legal rep present, and we can delay this if you do decide to have a legal rep present, but this is
I was gonna say I don't need one.
okay. Um, so, Captain, can you kind of tell me, to the best of your recollection, if were you one of the units on scene at the bank, or did you join in later?
I believe that I joined in later. Uh, Joined in the chase later. I might have just flown in and ended up being a tail on the chase. I do remember. I do remember though the boat chase that we were involved in.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So the- let's assume you weren't part of the initial thing, because right now the question is whether some information got relayed back and forth. But so the chase ended up at the boat dock, and
Mhm.
the suspect ended up getting a boat. Where were you when this happened? Best your recollection.
Um, I'm not 100% certain. I
Okay.
do know at some point that I was in an area where um I don't think I was at the boat dock. I do think that I was at a point I got to a point where I was able to get to an area where I was able to get on the boat with I do know that officer or that Deputy Commissioner Longhorn was driving the boat. I was able to get on the boat with him and continue chasing the suspect on the other boat.
Okay.
But I think that was over near the canal.
Okay. Are you talking about the where it went through the, I guess, those little inlets over there, and it
Yes,
ended up
that's
by the sailing marina?
yes.
Okay. To the best of your knowledge, can you recall who was piloting Air One?
I not 100% certain.
Okay.
Uh,
And that's okay.
Now, I'm assuming this is because the individual feels that his demands weren't met.
So what I can say is essentially the complaint, alleges that that demands were not met.
All right. So I'll make a statement for the record. It is the prerogative of LSPD High Command to revoke demands at any time. We do not typically do so. However, in a situation such as this, where an individual does get onto a watercraft and has not demand and has made one of his demands be that Air One not be a part of the scene, we typically do throw out the no Air One clause and grab Air One because of the ability of the suspect to be able to get away um, in a rather hurry. It is very hard for us to get water vehicles out and get planned and get staged for a water chase. Therefore, we have we have in the past thrown out that demand, and we will be implementing it in the future into the SOP that if they say that their outside help or outside vehicle is a water based vehicle, that the demands that they
EMS.
cannot make the demand of no air one.
Okay.
You out at
So and I'm just seeing
1005,
it here
2
in my
suspects
notes
found.
right now. So yeah, so the allegations, specifically according to complaint that was
When did you
lodged,
guys start dying a
demands
little
at
bit closer
bank
to the city?
were fair
Oh, you
chase
blame
and
this
no air
over this. They hit a
one.
local.
PD used Air
I'm
One
blaming
and
you.
said they were supposed to tell us if we have a boat that no Air One can't be used.
Are you
Didn't
like
even-
in the
and I
mountains,
guess
or
they're
what's the
alleging
deal?
that they are the complainants that they did not get the opportunity to change their
On the road.
demands, and I guess
10-4.
Air One sneaked in on them.
Okay, yeah.
So, and I mean, I've looked at it, I've looked at everything, and like I said, I think you were telling me when I emailed you that you don't believe you had footage that day, correct?
I do not. I gonna have to go back and look. I know for a fact that I think that was like it may have been one of the first days that I was back to streaming. I'm not 100 or running body cam.
Yeah, I got
However, I went and looked for the the video from that day, and I cannot find it.
I got you. I mean, like I said, it's one of those. What I'm after, I mean, it would have been would have been pretty much in the first, pretty much while the bank was going on. The other stuff looked basically textbook, from what I can tell. So, again, so that's pretty much that. None of what what you did, from what I can tell, broke our SOP. But because, like I said, you were named in a complaint, I wanted to get your side of it to the best of my, to the best of your recollection, anyway.
Okay.
So and again, to see how, like I said, the whole Garrity warning and all that. Yeah, obviously, as you know very well. No, by the way, if you can email me a copy of that, that would be appreciated.
Okay.
Because, like I said, I've been looking in our files and I've not found it. But that's probably just me getting old, and it's probably time for me to retire.
You're not that old. You're not that old yet.
But in any case, so from what we can tell, so essentially the chase again, it ends up somewhere down south, and I'd have to look again at the video for the exact location. Several MBUs roll up, as well as a car. Then obviously you guys start running meds like you're supposed to. EMS was called, which was good, and then pretty much it ends where you guys properly search them. You Mirandarize them and transport them. So all that stuff is good. That stuff seems textbook. So
All right.
other than that, is there anything else that you would like to add to this?
Nothing other than the statement I made about the calling off of demand.
Okay, so and again, you said typically, just to refresh my memory, typically when does that happen?
So typically demands will be thrown out or called off in several instances. One, if there is a officer involved shooting, or a shooting involving an officer. In other words, if a 1099 is called due to a negligent discharge of a firearm at a peace officer, we
And
will
that
go ahead and call off.
at the incident, you're right. So let's say bank robbery there, and let's say they're starting to shoot at the cops, and
Or even during the pursuit, or whenever, at any point
Okay.
during the course of a bank robbery scene, if a suspect shoots at or shoots and kills a cop, the demands that they had go out the window. That is almost an automatic thing across the LSPD. It is not written in SOP, but it is
EMS
generally
PD.
understood that if officers get involved into a or get involved in a situation like that, the demands of the suspects will go out the window. LSPD does reserve the right to revoke
EMS to PD.
or either revoke or call off
Imagine.
demands if a situation arises such
PD pickup.
as an individual getting into a
Okay.
I know
water
you can hear me.
vehicle, and trying to use that as a method of getting away from us. We can at that time call off the no air one demand,
EMS to
just
PD.
because it's
Yeah, what's up?
it is a very very unfair advantage, borderlining breaking federal rules of
Hey,
the
we
city.
got a we have a car parked in one of our parking spots over here at Pillbox. If you guys can impound it.
Okay. So essentially what you're saying then is when it comes to that, not necessarily that you would call off all demands for that particular scenario that you just mentioned, but you'd call off the, yeah, you'd say the no air one, yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Yes. Because of our access to water based vehicles is very limited.
Right.
All right. They could say that they have. I'll give you a scenario. They say that they have a water-based vehicle. Okay, they have outside help. They go to a predetermined location and they get into the water-based vehicle. All right. At that time, all right, it is impossible for us as LSPD to continue to chase. All right. Uh, we do not have a coast guard or anything like that that is able to scour the coast and find boats in waiting, boats that are violating rules of the waterway, stuff like that. We have to go and find a dock and get into a boat and hope that we can catch the vehicle. So at that time, our procedure, and one that is going to be written into the SOP, is to call off the demand for no air one and bring in air one to go ahead and search. It is the fastest way to get eyes on the water based vehicle that is currently getting away from us.
I was gonna almost ask, to your recollection, do you could you recall whether it was ever communicated over the radio that day about the air, about the no air one thing, to where it was communicated back to advise the suspects in question about the demand issue?
Not 100% certain, but it very well could have been.
Okay. All right, Captain. I think I have everything that I need. I appreciate your time and cooperation.
All right. Thank you.
So with this, I'm going to end the recording. The current time is 11:52 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The date is 8/26/2021. This recording is being edited by Bravo 11, Captain R. Smith. And I said again, and this wasn't a preliminary interview for Captain Dela Cruz regarding the events on 16th July 20. Recordings now being.
All right.